Well, good morning. Just walked on the treadmill, and this morning at breakfast, I was reading an article, and it was showing a cover of a magazine, and it was a cake, and it was depicting the 250 years for our country, which is right around the corner, 2026. And the cake was decorated with all of the things that are happening currently and continuing to get worse. And it was basically war, pestilence, famine. You name a scandal right now, and it was on the cake probably. And I'm thinking, okay, to make a cake, you got to have ingredients. Well, what's the biggest ingredient? I don't know, flour, eggs, I don't know, cake mix, however you make a cake. But I was thinking what the biggest ingredient would be on that cake was probably what happened here. And this to me just seems like just yesterday. This was 1976. This quarter, I was a junior in high school. Had big fuzzy natural curly hair. Couldn't get a comb through it. Had pimples. Could run like the wind playing soccer. Didn't have aches and pains. Had a 71 Camaro. Seems like just yesterday. Except I look a lot older now. Lost that natural curly hair. It's still most of it's still there. It's receding some, but so back to the ingredients of the cake. 1976, we had been off the gold standard since Nixon took us off in 70, 71. So not that long. Now, 50 years later, you can see the results of that happening. It's happened before. Whenever you use debt as money, it runs its course. It's run its course in the rest of the world much quicker because they don't have the access to the money printer, so to speak. That's what people call it. Money is created in loans. You go into a bank, they give you a loan out of thin air. You pay it back with interest. Boom, that's liquidity. Money disappears when you pay that loan off. That's when banks aren't lending, the liquidity dries up. We put our deposits from our check in the bank. That bank takes those deposits, buys treasury bills. That's another form of money printing. The treasury makes a treasury bill whatever month, year. The 2 year is what the Fed follows. The Fed doesn't create the money. They're lender of last resort. And lately, they've been doing a lot of that. they've been injecting money into the overnight repo market to the tune of, I think I heard it was 250 billion. I could be wrong on that number. Just over the weekend, and I don't think it's a liquidity because banks are lending. I'm not exactly sure. I don't think the liquidity is the same. I haven't followed that as much. I don't think it's the same as it was like in 2008. Maybe it is with the Lehman. To me, it looks like the banks don't trust each other because they're not lending. Because that's what the overnight lending is. It's banks lending to each other. But for them to do that, that's unprecedented numbers. I mean, there's a problem in the plumbing, so to speak, and I'm trying to think of an analogy of that kind of a problem. If you had that kind of a problem in the plumbing in your own house, it would probably be something to the like of the basement's flooded, and it's an encroaching on the first floor. But so anyhow, walk by faith, not by sight. But I was thinking, what has happened with that cake in 50 years because of those ingredients of using debt as money is not, it never ends well. It's happened before, and it seems like a rinse and repeat. They abuse that debt as money as long as they can to enrich themselves. The top, whatever you want to call them, there's a lot of different names for that. The old saying, the rich get richer. Well, in that kind of a system, the middle class, the poor, they all suffer because it's just being extracted out of them by inflation, and then they rinse and repeat with war. It's just this time. We have nukes, and I don't think it's going to end well for them. I don't care even if they've got a bunker. It's I don't know if it's what's depicted in Revelation 6. I don't know. Time will tell. But anyhow, my faith is and trust is in the great I Am. It's like I say, walk by faith, not by sight. So, alrighty, but you have to you can't just ignore it. You have to acknowledge the realities that we are in right now, and use it to further God's kingdom, because man's kingdom is on on sinking sand right now. So, all right, take care. God bless. Walk by faith, not by sight.